Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's edition of Voice of Mamprugu. One people, one voice, authentic, authoritative, objective, and educative. As you all know, our mission is to promote Mamprugu Kingdom across the world and unity with purpose among Mamprusis and the paramount sees in Mamprugu, as well as defend and protect the sanctity of the high office of our King, the Najiri. Our vision is to bring about consciousness among ourselves, all Mamprusis, towards attaining economic, social, political, and educational advancement. I am your host, Na Atabia II, Mamprugu Youth President, and I shall be joined in any moment from now by our distinguished professor of Mamprugu history and heritage, Professor Buddy Gamsida. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we shall be discussing the Bolga traditional area and also Voice of Mamprugu. We want to honor our brother Plateau. We want to honor him, and we will talk a bit about him on this program. That is the little that we can also do to honor him. My dear brothers and sisters, history is sweet. History is a weapon. You need to know your history. You need to know your history. History can also unite us as one people. History can bring about peace in society. History can unearth a solution to a problem. So you have to take your history lessons seriously. Yes, this is very important. I cannot emphasize much on that. Whilst waiting for our brother, let me also show you this. This is the king of Mamprugu Kingdom, Na Abdullahi Mahami Bohogushirga II. He is the 33rd Najiri of the Mamprugu Kingdom, and traditionally the elder son of Nagbewa, who lived and died in Pusiga. Pusiga is about 13 kilometers from Boku. We have looked so far into three traditional areas in the Upper East region, which is part of Mamprugu Kingdom: the Bongo traditional area, the Talansi traditional area, the Nabdam traditional area. Tonight, we shall be discussing Bolga, and of course, you can all see the name of the town in red. The almighty Boku. We shall discuss Boku too at the right time. That is how I'll put it. And for you, my cherished viewers, I know I have assured you that we will do justice to Ndebugri. Yes, I promise you. When I make a promise, I keep it. I have our distinguished guest who will be doing that. A very intelligent, smart guy. You will all love the program when we started. So just be patient. But I just want to assure you that, yes, we shall talk about Ndebugri. As far as this program is concerned, we have exhumed him from the grave. Ndebugri is not dead until we discuss him and rebury him on this program, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm waiting for our special guest to join us soon. But before then, also, let me play a particular song from one of the sons of Mamprugu before our professor comes, and I think he may also make a commentary on that song.
Kabila de chama, Malancha Nakapalanza, ye, Amibula, Bandatla Bananga, Tatuama, ye, Alamungai, Tinga Yelika, Yaka to Bulu was why, Yaka to Bulu was why, Kakajaye, Yare Kamti, Jankatajaye, Tico Supabadara, Samilan, the Vara, to Bulua, Amibula, Mapurku, 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 Kirigang Netaba, the 20 Kapang Netaba, Yama Song Netaba, Zaira Puyin, Manakaware, the Wasuliam, Yachakatala Mumbara, Yachakatapela Pinyana, the Namagom, Zayala Puyin, the 20 Kapang Nakao, Yachakatala Mumbaro, Zaman Purgo and Tasso. Yeah. Apurukute mayatwama, upurusuma yasuma, wapurusuma yasuma, tukola mapurukuto dechade. Apatma yatitanjali, pasesua yaprichema, sokam yasusuma, ambana banku shere kumami, no to sokuma, yama yata mekale, atwala mapurukuto dechade, yama kuberka tetivie, yama mapuruku yanengare, mapuruku asan sanjireba, yari chaka yapu makare. Yachani, Yatamanga to Bulladwai, Yanika to Bullakai, oh, Maburgo, to Tony to Jaye, Maburgo, Abela to Chama, Mamalacha, Nakapalanzaye, Maburgo, ye, Amibula, on that battle of Anekatama, Maburga, Tuama, ye. Lamungai, Tinga Yelika to Twy, Yaka to Bulu was why, Yaka to Bulu was why, Kakajaye, Yare Kamti, Jankatajaye, Tico Sabadara, to Milan, to Vara, to Pulua, Amibilla. Mapuruko, 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 it's LIB, baby.
Professor. Hello, Professor. Professor Badigamsira.
Yeah.
Mamprugu, so says the song. Anula. Hello, Professor.
Nah, cuma ya udah.
Alafia. Kaini ya ula.
Yeah, hello. Yeah.
Ibuanin yal ne tarim Ibuanin yal ne tarim bobohara.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello, Professor.
Yeah, hello. Yeah. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Nah, tumanya una.
Lafia miane ibuan yan ni tarum po buahara.
Nah. Alafia dia ni. Nah.
Lafia biane. Buni student election ma de changula. Hello, Prof.
Yeah. I don't know whether it's from my end or at your end.
I don't know either. But anyway, please go ahead to do your usual introduction.
Okay, yeah. Before I start, as usual, acknowledge our cherished viewers and followers for always
Hello, Prof. Ladies and gentlemen, bear with us. Once in a while we experience these kind of technical issues. Basically, it is the internet service. I probably want to believe that a professor is experiencing poor internet connectivity today. So let's bear with him. But I believe that notwithstanding, we will have a beautiful program and a beautiful day. Prof will join us again, ladies and gentlemen. We shall be discussing the Bolga-Tanga traditional area. You know, the Bolga-Tanga traditional area, unlike, let me show you this, unlike Bongo, Talansi, and Nabdan, the Bolga-Tanga traditional area, chieftaincy there, I must put it so, was not established by a Mamprusi prince. That is what history will tell us, at least the little that I know. But of course, Professor will tell us more about that and whether I got my history on that correct. Hello, Professor.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. I think we are, let's make good use of the time. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. It's always an honor and privilege to be here, to be on the voice of Mampugu. And I will first of all start by clapping at the palace of the overlord, the king of the Mampugu kingdom. I'll clap at the palace of Tugumana, as well as all his sons in the Mampugu kingdom. And I'll extend to the Upper East region, and I'll clap at the various palaces in the Upper East region, all the sons of the Nayiri in the Upper East region. And I'll come and give a special clapping at the palace of Mba Bolga Naba Abeka Nongbur Maltenga. I'll clap at his palace. Because we are already far behind time, I'll just make it brief and thank our cherished viewers and followers for always making time with us. We are most grateful for their time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Prof, we have a loaded program today.
Yes.
So quickly, I played a song. I don't know whether you listened to it.
Yeah, it's like by then I wasn't, but I heard it.
Yes. Yeah, the little Mampuli that I understand, I like the song. I don't know. For me, it was talking about what we are talking about, the need to come together. And all that.
Need to come.
Yeah, yes. Can you just use a minute to talk about it?
Yeah, in fact, the song actually, I think, I don't know the artist yet, but I think he has done a marvelous job. He has made the call. He has re-echoed the call we've been making over the time period being. And I think because he has made in a form of music, music travels faster.
Yeah.
And we thank him so much for that song. What is he saying? He's saying that Mampugu But all those behind us, those that were behind us, they have now gone ahead of us. So we also need to wake up from our sleep and mobilize each other and see how we also develop. So I think his song, in fact, is very inspirational, and he has done very well. Yeah.
All right. Well, we also want to give him publicity and acknowledge his hard work. Mamprugu is proud of him. I think he is
Yes.
called, is it Defancy, if I got the name right. Now, let's quickly deal with this one also before we go to Bolga and then finally to our last respect, or I mean, celebrate. I think we should celebrate him.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so let me show this video, and then you tell us a bit about him.
We have France, be Mambora la, Jeningla unicycle, Chichik Barini competition. So Mambora running la race, 50 meters. Ura ba Chiche Barini ni Ura Ningla Barini Kokwa.
You got it, Trey. You got it. Take it easy. You got it. You got it, buddy. You got it. Yeah. Nailed it.
Azabaluya, Baluya. To running India third place. Udia so banning two award medal. There you go.
Woo, Ghana! First Ghana medal.
So mad, didn't you Ghana first medal? So check I pass some new sim to pass some new sim. Upang kumanga.
Holding on to the past, but like a hero in a dream. Christ came and he rescued me. Now I'ma tell the world, tell them, I'ma tell it everywhere I go.
Professor.
Yes.
In Mampruli, we will describe him as Sulmia. Sulmia. Yeah. So I listened. I got to know him when I listened to a presentation he did about Mamprugu Kingdom.
Yes.
And I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube. His life in Mamprugu and all that, and I'm inspired that this is somebody who is so proud about Mamprugu Kingdom, and has chosen to be an ambassador of the kingdom.
The kingdom, yes.
What do you know about him?
Yeah, in fact, he is a lovely person, someone that is very passionate about the Mamprugu Kingdom. He is called Mr. William Horn. That is his name. He's a professional photographer, and his wife is the wife is a medical doctor, I think a surgeon at the Baptist Medical Center in Nalerugu. So he lives with the family in Nalerugu, and in fact, he's doing tremendous job for the Mamprugu Kingdom, and he has been esteemed as the Sulmisanachi, meaning the youth chief for the whites, or white youth chief, if we can put it in that way. So he's the Sulmisanachi. In fact, he's the chief, and he liked being called chief. He was given this title by no other person than the king himself, the overlord, the king of Mamprugu to the woman Nigeria, himself. He was given this name. He was given the title by the king of Mamprugu.
Wow, that is beautiful. Yeah, I think he is doing a good job for Mamprugu.
Yes, and his son, the son is called Mambora. All his children have Muslim names. Mamprulian names. The son is called Mambora. He has a younger one, and he is called Nawumpini Kasi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other one is called
Yeah, that is good. He's promoting Mamprugu in a positive way, and we appreciate him and we are proud of him. He should keep it up. And for we, those who are indigenous sons of the kingdom, what are we doing? That is what we should be asking ourselves. Prof, tonight we shall be discussing the Bolga traditional area.
Yes.
Can you take us through?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And as I said earlier, I'm always grateful, and it's a privilege to be here. Today, we are going to look at one of the important paramountcies, or one of the sons of the king of the Mampugu kingdom, Tudukma Nayiri. We're going to look at one of his sons in the Upper East region, and no other place than the regional capital of the Upper East region, Bolgatanga. The Bolga Naba is being enslaved by the Nayiri, and Bolga in the Upper East region, just like Bongo and the others we've done earlier, are all part of the Mampugu kingdom. In fact, before we now come to have what we have as a Upper East region and Northeast region. Prior to independence, this the current Upper East region that we are seeing today was called the Mamprusi North, and the present Northeast region was called Mamprusi. So before independence, the Upper East and Northeast region the Upper East was Mamprusi South, and the Northeast was Mamprusi North. And this goes to tell you that that particular part of the country is part of the Mampugu kingdom. And the British or the colonial masters acknowledged that. And that was why that part of the country was called Mamprusi South and Mamprusi North. So when we come and look at the Bolga traditional area, initially, the Bolga traditional area as we have it today was not in existence before the arrival of the colonial masters. You know, when the British arrived in Mampugu, as we said earlier, around 1897, they arrived in Mampugu and they met Nabarga, who was then the king of the Mampugu kingdom, and he happened to be the direct great-grandfather of the reigning Nigerian Nabuhabu Abdullahi Mami Shirda. So Nabarga was the king of Mampugu when the British arrived, and they came to him with to sign a treaty to be part of the British protectorate, because by then it wasn't part of Gold Coast. So when they came and on discussions, Nabarga agreed and signed the agreement with the British. Then they had the opportunity to move or to exploit the kingdom and establish the British indirect rule. And if you come and look at how the British got to northern Ghana, they had, because of their experience in with the Ashantis and the like, when they were coming to northern Ghana, they came with the indirect rule system. And I did government back at SS, and if you go and read that of the British indirect rule, they will tell us that they got that idea from the northern Nigeria. That was what they used there, and it was successful. So because of that, their experience in northern Nigeria, they brought the indirect rule to northern Ghana. So they were ruling the people through the chiefs. So wherever there wasn't a chief, they will advise the king who owns that jurisdiction to get a chief there, so that they can be communicating to the people through the chiefs. So when they got to Bolga, before they got there, they were met with fierce resistance by the Talensis around, if you come to around Bandung to Tongo area and the Bolga area. The Talensis and the Gunesi in that area resisted the entry of the British, and they used bows and arrows. They shot bows and arrows at them, and they have to retreat back to the Nayiri. When they got to the Nayiri and reported how they are being prevented from entering, the Nayiri provided them security, and some warriors were given to them to lead them to the area. And we are told that Jagbanda and Salfu, who was a brother to Nabarga, Jagbanda and Salfu was Nabarga's brother. They were the same father. And he was the chief of Jagbani. And we have then Nasalma. Nasalma was, if we can put it, he was the son of or the nephew of Nabarga, because Nasalma's father and Nabarga are same father. So they were those that were chosen by Nabarga to lead the British to the Upper East area, and they led them there. And we are told that by the time they started the journey at dawn, and by the time daybreak, they were able to break all the barriers that were preventing the British from entering. And that was how the British got to the Talensi area, to the Nabdam area, that is Tangodi and the like, and to the Bolga area. Now, when they got to Bolga, there wasn't any centralized chieftaincy institution there. So it was now on the Nayiri and the British to get a central authority at the Bolga area, because by then Bongo was already established. Nangodi and the like, they were already established. Bolga was not much centralized, because when they got there, the Kurunaba, which I made mention earlier, that there was once an ancient paramount chief around the Upper East area. His jurisdiction entered the Talensi area to the Bolga area, and he was the Kurunaba, the paramount chief of the Kuru traditional area. And I think when we are ranking the sons of the Nayiri, he placed third among the sons of the Nayiri. So the Kurunaba was the one enskinning chiefs around that area. So he was enskinning chiefs around at Sumbrungu. He enskinning chiefs at Sumbrungu, Sirugu, Yorgo, and this place, what's the name? Yeah, and Kumbosugu. So these four areas, that was where chieftaincy was. So Sumbrungu, Kumbosugu, Sirugu, and Yorgo. And it was the Kurunaba who was enskinning chiefs at these places. But when the British came, they needed someone of Gurunsi origin who will be the paramount chief in that area. And that was when they... Yeah.
Before you continue,
okay.
Our father, you said you used to enskin chiefs around that area.
Yes.
Is he a Mamprusi?
He's a Mamprusi. Yes. The paramount chief of Kurugu traditional area, Kurunaba.
Is a Mamprusi?
Yeah, he's a Mamprusi.
In the Upper East region?
He is part of his jurisdiction is in the Northeast region and in the Upper East region, even till date.
Currently, okay.
Yeah, currently, yes. So currently, he has communities that he enskin. His land is part of the Talensi district and part of the West Mamprusi district. So the community, when you get to Uru on your way to Bolga, when you get to Uru, it is on your right. So it gets closer to the white voter or the black voter at Balogun.
All right, quick question.
Yes.
Quick question.
Okay.
Was he enskinning chiefs around the Bolga area, if I may say so, with
Yes.
with the permission of the Nayiri, or he was also doing that by his own authority?
That particular area was his jurisdiction given to him by the Nayiri. And remember, when we were talking about the Tongo traditional area, I made mention that the Tonrana was originally under the Kurnaba.
Yes.
So it was this chief I was referring to. He was very powerful.
Okay.
Kurnaba was very powerful before and during the colonial era. As I said earlier, some circumstances nearly led to the collapse of that paramountcy.
Yeah, before you continue, and my last question on that, is he one of the sons of the Nayiris?
Yes, he's one of the sons of the Nayiri.
Okay. All right. So anyway, okay. So you continue. You said when the British arrived.
Yes. Yeah. So when the British arrived around 1898, and the then district commissioner, Colonel Northcote, he got to the Bolga area and made one chief, or if I may put it that way, you know, because of time, we just have to brush over some of the issues.
Yes, please.
Yes, so for our followers to have a fair understanding of what was happening there, Bolga, as we know it today, was not much of chieftaincy. They were much of the Tendanaship. So they were Tendana, they were the Tendambe. So in Tendana, they were not chiefs. So they didn't have any business with chieftaincy. So the few areas where you could find chieftaincy was Asirugu, Kumbosugu, and Yorogo and Sumbrumu. And these areas have now come to be suburbs of Bolga. If we come, they have now come to be part, or if we, yeah. So now they are part of, they have become fauna in Mamproni. That's how we can put it in Bolga. Yeah. So these areas were where you will find chiefs. Bolga Central in itself, they weren't a chief there. The Tendames were there, and they were more into their Tendanaship. They didn't have any business with a chieftaincy. And how did these Tendames got to Bolga? They migrated some from Burkina Faso and some from the Kassana area. And history will tell us that, and this one, we are referring our viewers to give them reference for those that want to read further about the Bolga tradition or the Bolga or the Gurunsi people. And we refer them to a book written by one Azari Christopher Annabella. Mr. Azari Christopher Annabella is a historian, and he has written a lot about the Gurunsi people and their Tendanaship. And in his book, he made it clear that the Frafra people, or the as we've known them to be, or the Gurunsi people, migrated to the Bolga area in the around the 16th century. That was when they migrated or they infiltrated the Bolga area. And they migrated from Yatenga in Burkina Faso, Yatenga province, around a province called Ayuya, or Ayuya. That was where they came from. And they are from the Kassana and Nankana extraction. So they trace their ancestry to the Kassana and Nankana extraction. So that is where the present Gurunsi around Bolga, as we've known them now, they trace their lineage to that part of to Burkina Faso and to the Uya area. And they are originally from the Nankana or the Kassana extraction. And they came and settled around the Bolga area. And to them, they weren't interested in chieftaincy. Chieftaincy is, if we can put it, is novel to them. They are not into chieftaincy, they are into their Tendanaship. So we are told that when they arrived and they were there practicing their Tendanaship, along the line, some Moses also migrated around that Yatenga area and came and met them there. And it was the Tendanes that rather made the Musi chief of the area, because to them, they were not into chieftaincy. And you will understand why Musi too are linked or are connected with chieftaincy, because Musi, as we've known them to be, are descendants of Najoa. So to them too, wherever they are, royalty goes with them. And just like, let me crack a joke, they say, there was an advert, they say, wherever Dura Plus go, water flows. So wherever Najoa lineage goes, chieftaincy or royalty flows there.
Yes, and then wherever, another joke, and wherever Morino goes, Bakutuma goes.
Okay, yeah. So that is it. That is what we've learned about the Gurunsi people. Originally, they weren't into chieftaincy.
Yes. Now let me just also see if I can help emphasize this point or bring clarity.
Okay.
The indigenes of Bolga, present-day Bolga,
yes,
some migrated from Burkina Faso, present-day Burkina Faso,
yeah,
and some from the Kassina Nankana area.
Yes.
And they all came there as Tindanes.
Yes.
And part of the history is that some Moshis also migrated from Burkina Faso to the Bolga area. And when they came, according to our distinguished historian, when they came, the Tindanes rather chose them, or let me say, enskined them to be chiefs, and not they, the Tindanes, even though they are the indigenous people. Is that the case?
Yes, that is the case.
Okay, all right.
And among the founders of these people, there was one called Abolga. So so it's the Abolga, and I think there's also a shrine, if we can put it that way, or a god that is a rock, and they call it Tanga. Around that area, they refer to the rocks as they say Tanga.
Yes.
Or even in Mampuru itself, if we come to God, they say Satanga. Some call it Satanga.
Yes.
So the Tanga was what the Abolga, I don't know whether that was his grave or something, or it was a god they discovered because they were Tandanis. So they were referring to that rock as Abolga Tanga. And it is believed that that is where the name Bolga Tanga is driven from. There are two schools of thought. So we will leave that because we are to go to the chieftaincy because of time.
Yes. Let me also make this quick point. Then I want us to drift to chieftaincy and then narrow it down to how come Nayiri is in skinning a chief there, because we've all agreed history has told us that the Bolga people are not Mampusis.
Yes.
It is what is it? We can argue, and history will support that the Moshis even are the first chiefs in the Bolga traditional area.
Yes, and this is backed by this is backed by history. And
exactly.
Anyone disputing this can go and look for Mr. Christopher Azari book and read and get educated.
Exactly.
So
let me quickly make this. I've glanced through some aspects of the book, and Christopher's even made it clear that he used about 29 years to get the work done. Now, this is what is significant. This is what is significant about the Tindanaship. The Abolga that you are talking about, he is also considered as the father or the founder of the group that came from the Burkina Faso country to settle there. So I think the gods that you are talking about, I think that is his god. After he died, that they revered him, and then it is, it turns into a god. Respectfully, let me put it that way. But this is what I want to make. Whether you are a Tendana, whether you are a chief, whether you are an Ashanti, whether you are a Mampusi, whether you are a Farfara, whether you are a Moshi, whether you are a Hausa, you must have a founder.
Yes.
If you don't have a founder, you don't have business laying claim on anything on this world. That is my understanding.
Yes.
All right. Please go ahead. Let's narrow it.
I think everyone should try and get this book and read. It's an eye opener, and to tell you who they are. And this book, this Azari is not a Mampusi, whereby they can say it's Mampusi that wrote it. So that is it. So now, when we come to the chieftaincy area, at that time, already that part of the country was part of the Mampugu kingdom. But just that chieftaincy was not concentrated in that part of the country. The only area where chieftaincy was established was at Bongo. And we all know why, because now Atabia's son got there. So this area, though it was part of the kingdom, but there wasn't Mampusi princes living there. So once in a while, there used to be some kind of, if I may put it, disturbances or shaking. That part of the kingdom will always shake a bit. and the Nayiri will go there and reinforce his rule in that area. And we can see this, or we can, this one, we can hear it from the summer when you take Napari. Napari was the success, he was the successor, was the one Barga succeeded from. And he has ever fought war in that part of the country. And in his Samalunga, we can hear the drummers praising Napari as Balungu Denda Barzana, Wuko Denda Barzana, Bolga Tanga Demba Dila Bobunantam, Azabiyala, Na Denda Barzana. So all these things they are saying are reminding us that he has ever been there and he has ever fought war there to stabilize that part of the kingdom. And if you go and look at the history of Boko against war, you realize that na Atabia influence, you get na Atabia influence in that part of the kingdom. So you get to realize that it isn't that part was not part of the kingdom. It was part of the kingdom, just that chieftaincy was not concentrated there. When the British came and they wanted the indirect rule, that was when the Nayiri was made to enskin a chief, or they even selected the first chief. It was Colonel not called that selected the first chief in that area, around the Bolga area. And because he was selected by the colonial masters and he was given their backing, he was made senior to the Sumbrungu, Sirugu, Kumbosugu, and Yoruba chiefs. So when you come and you take a traditionally, the Sumbrungu, Sirugu, Yoruba, and Kumbosugu, that was where chieftaincy was. And if it was to be followed traditionally, these people, one of them should have been made the paramount chiefs, if we can put it that way. But because the British wanted it in that direction, that was why the Bolga Naba was made the paramount chief over the other areas like Sumbrungu and the others as we mentioned earlier. So that was how the chieftaincy of Bolga came into being. And the first chief, he also established, chieftaincy as we've known it to be, chief doesn't always have one son. So definitely will have many wives and many children. And it was the children of these chiefs that have now comprised what we have today as the 7 royal clans of the Bolga traditional area. And it is now established that we now have 7 clans. And these 7 clans, they will tell you that they are all sons, or their founder, they are all sons of Abeka. That is what history was. That Abeka, who was one of the chiefs, now had 7 children. And all these 7 children created their lineages. So now the royal clans, as we've known them to be, have now come to be 7. And they are, we have the Anaf BC,
Professor.
the Bado BC, Atunuba BC.
Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, again, as you are all aware, our common problem here is always internet connectivity. When Professor comes back, I will move. I want her to speed up with this. Viewers, you have to bear with me. I want us to use at least 10 minutes to celebrate the life of Plateau. That is not to suggest that the history of the Bolga traditional area is not important. It's very significant, and we have done justice to it. We know the history of the beginning of Bolga. We know where the Grunsi people, the Farfares, as the British nicknamed them, we know where they came from to be where they are. We know they are Tendanes. We know they didn't start with chieftaincy. We know they themselves, when the Moshis migrated from Burkina Faso to Bolga area, we know it is they, the Tendanes, who enskinned the Moshis as chiefs before even the Nayiri. Now, I'm recapping all this to just plead with you, our cherished viewers, that we may not be able to thoroughly go into the Bolga traditional area. Prof, what I want is that I would like us to use at least 10 minutes. 10 minutes will not even be okay, but 10 minutes at least to celebrate the life of Plateau. So I want you've given us the history. That is good. And now what I am interested in is that Bolga, the Bolga traditional area, the people there are not Mamprosis.
Yes.
Chieftaincy did not start with the Mamprosis there.
Yes.
But today, the Nayiri has authority on the Bolga traditional area. The Bolga traditional area is part of Mamprugu. How come that the Nayiri is enskinning a Bolga Naba?
Okay. Yeah. So as I said earlier, when the British came with the indirect rule system, so some places where they were a paramount chief, then they will create the paramount chief, and the Nayiri will be tasked to enskin a chief there, because they would like to be dealing with the people through the chief. So that was how it was. If you come to look at the four we mentioned that the Kubunaba was enskinning, they were all independent from each other. So if you come to, none of them was paramount over the other. So, but what the British want was that the entire Gurunsi area, there should be a paramount chief there, so that if they want to be dealing with the Gurunsi people, then they'll be dealing with them through that chief. So that was why the Nayiri has to enskin the Bolga Naba. And
so I think this should be around the 1900s.
Yes, that is around the 1900s. Yes.
Okay.
So that is how it has been. And Nashirga has ever enskinned the Bolga Naba, and that was around I think 1958. Yeah, 1958. Nashirga enskinned Bolga na IMB Abilba. So he was enskinned by Nashirga. If we come to 1969, the Nabong, that is the successor of Nashirga, he enskinned Bolga na Abilba Patrick. That was 1969. So that is how it has been. So the Nayiri has been enskinning Bolga Naba, and just recently the present or the reigning Bolga Naba na Abeka Nongurmaltinga, he was enskinned by the Nayiri in 2015. So that is how it has been. And as I said earlier, it is not the case that Bolga was not part of Mamprogo. It was part of Mamprogo, just that the chieftaincy was not concentrated there.
Yes.
So that was how it was operated. When the chieftaincy wasn't there, it was part of the kingdom. But whenever there used to be some little issues there, the Nayiri will go there and reinforce his rule there. And as we have seen in the era of Napari.
A quick question.
And this was done before the arrival of the British. So this goes to deflate or diffuse some people thinking that it was the British that brought the Nayiri rule over Bolga area. That wasn't the case.
Okay. Is there any chieftaincy dispute in Bolga?
Well, I think this issue, we can't, because of the legality, attached to it, maybe we will just branch, but we will not go deep into it. But
okay.
what we know is that the Nayiri has enskinned a Bolga Naba, and he is currently the Bolga Naba, the paramount chief of the Bolga traditional area.
Okay, that is good. So he is our father, our brother, yes, our uncle, yes, and we love him. We want.
I remember the other time you showed the picture of the Dambade. He was seated there, and I said, this is the Bolga Naba.
Yes, I remember. Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, I did not put his photo on my system today.
Sorry,
so how do I apologize if he happens to be listening to us or one day see this, so that he will not be mad at me? How can I apologize?
Nah, to the Tegarmia.
Nah, but Tegarmia. Okay.
I should have sent them earlier so that you could have uploaded for our viewers to.
Exactly. Anyway, that's why I like you are taking the blame.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so just your last comment on the Bolga traditional area, then we'll switch to our next segment.
Yes. Yeah. So my last comment on the Bolga traditional area will be on the Naire message in the 2020 Damba Festival. You know, he always says that Tabanjiawaza, he asked a question that Tabanjiawaza Buruzulu Getene. That all we do is that we have an outsider or a different tribe among us. And he himself answered and said that they should tell us that he said no, that there is no any other tribe among us, that we are all Mampusi. That whoever that crosses the river, no one bamu arunduna za labla mampraga. Nyingwan bamu arunduna za labla mampraga. And I want to ask I want us to keep something in mind so that when we come to talk about Na Ataria, we can hammer on it. The Nairi always made mention that Mwambamu Aronduna. And there was an interview he granted to Checker Online, the one that did the Chronicle of the North, the Forgotten Kingdoms. There's a documentary that, and in that documentary, if you listen to the Nairi, a question was thrown to him that where is his territory, which areas are his boundaries, and he made mention that for his boundary, that he doesn't have a boundary, that it is only the students wana mo arma katabo bandu ama dan palampaza wanza ngba faranse wantin suriza. Let me translate this to English. He said that it is the river that we didn't cross. But from here up to France, our people always call the Francophone area, Togo and Burkina Faso, they call it France. So that from here up to France is our jurisdiction. So I ask a question. Where is this river? Which river is he always referring to? Do you have an idea?
No, please tell me.
Well, he always said the river. And in the 2020 Dambatu, he repeated it. He said that whoever that crosses the river is a Mamprosi. So the river, have we ever wondered as Mamprosi to ask ourselves, which river? I think we should be bothered about that.
Yes, that's a legitimate call.
Yes. So which river? He always said the river, and we don't have one river in Mamprogo. We have the Nasia River, we have the Palogo River. So which of them is he referring to? So I want to tell our viewers that when the Nayir always said the river, he is referring to the Yeji River.
Oh, okay.
So when he said the river, he is referring to the Yeji River.
Yes.
The Yeji River was where Na Atabia stopped.
Yes.
During the War of Conquest, the Yeji River, and I'm stressing on it, Na Atabia stopped at the Yeji River. And why did he stop? It was the Bono people that pleaded with him not to cross the river.
Yeah, I read one of your articles where you talk of the gold, what is it? Ablution can, right?
Yes.
Or and kettle, the gold kettle. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So they cut the kola nut tree.
Yes.
They cut the kola nut tree, carved it into a drum. They gave him a golden kettle for keeping of kola. They gave him a golden sputum mark. Sputum mark. The Nair always have a sputum mark. He speaks sputum in.
Yes.
They gave him a golden sputum mark and a golden kettle. And they cut the kola nut tree and carved it into a drum and used those artifacts and pleaded with Na Atabia not to cross the Yeji River. So that was where his war, ended. So he ended at the Yeji River and now claimed the other part. And his younger brother was seated at Bimbla. The Bimbla now.
Yes.
And the Yana was at Yendi. So all that territory all, we still see it as Mamprugu because it is part of Nigeria jurisdiction. So
Yes.
when the Nigerian said that when you cross the river, you are a Mampusi, he is telling you that from Nanu, Bimbila to Dagon, Yendi to Naleru to Boku to Bolga to Burkina Faso, because his son is the Mogo Naba, as the Mosi will call him Mogo Naba. We call him Monaba at Ouagadougou, the Tunkurugu Naba at Tunkurugu, the Yating Naba, the Bosoma Naba, and in Togo, he has his son, the Timbu Naba, the Tiyoku Naba, all in Togo. So Togo, Burkina Faso, they are all part of the Niger jurisdiction. So when the old man tells you that when you cross the river, you are a Mampusi, he's not referring to Nasia River. Neither is he referring to Yape River or what do you call it, Palugu River. He is referring to Yeji River.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. We shall go to our next segment, but before that, I know myself and you, our official arrangement is Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Now, let me show you this. There's a reason why I want to show you this. So today we've just done with Bolga Tanga in blue. And yes. The fifth one is the Almighty Boku. Do you think we can discuss Boku on Thursday?
Yeah, I think we should leave Boku on Thursday. We have the Fire Festival coming, so I would like us to touch on it and Zorungu, because Zorungu is also a paramount on its own. In fact, you know, as we always say,
yes, Prof, I know now I know you, so I'll not let you talk again. So we will discuss Boku not this Thursday, but at the Fire Festival and Zuarungu. Now the other thing is that I have a program with our brother Jambedo Tia Abu. Supposed to be tomorrow. Will you be available to? He would like you to join.
Okay, then I will be available for the. Okay. I don't. I can't.
That is a special request.
I have to support myself to comfort them.
Yeah, that's a special request, and he said he would love the two of you to join. He likes to be with you. Anyway, so now let me play this audio. Take a sip, just enjoy some water, and then watch this video. Professor.
Yeah.
As the term always used, these are excerpts from the seventh-day Adua of our legendary brother Plateau. I want us to, for me, we have to celebrate him.
We will say that
Exactly, Ogoni.
Yes,
Ogoni.
yes, rather.
Exactly. So, for me, that is the best way we can honor him. He's happy
Yes,
wherever he is. He would have
yes.
loved to be with us. We know that, but he's happy. He's with our ancestors. He is with the Almighty, and he knows that Mampugu is moving on the right direction. He has witnessed it, and he also know that his native hometown, Boku, is there will be light at the end of the tunnel. So for me, we need to celebrate him. Yeah. So what have you?
In my personal tribute to him, which I wrote on the event of his death, I made mention that he has lived a fulfilled life. He has lived to see the final funeral rites of Bokuna Tampur Adam Zandu. And in fact, when he gets to our ancestors, he will have a beautiful story to tell them.
Yes.
He will have a story to tell them. He will tell them that what we have been denied or what we were denied 40 years back, we've been able to do it successfully. And I'm sure Bokuna Tampure will embrace him, and Bokuna will embrace him. Though he hasn't lived to see the new Bokunaba, but he has seen what.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. And you see, sometimes, you witness some good news. And for example, I'm here in Canada. I monitor what happens home. I monitor the situation home. I get reliable information, but somebody travels from Ghana to Canada here. Then I ask that person, so did this really happen? So I think for me, talking about our ancestors, talking about Na Ali, Alibila, Yakubu, all down to Na Tampuri, they will welcome Plateau.
Yes,
They themselves. Yeah, go ahead.
I said something to one of our brothers, and we were on a journey, and I asked him, I said that, do you know that those that lived in Boku and those that saw the enskinment of Bokuna Salman and his exile and his demise and the unfortunate event that Nkrumah has made our forefathers to go through, and they were alive to see the overthrow of Nkrumah. They saw the performance of the funeral of Bokuna Salma Yirmea, and they witnessed the enskinment of Bokuna Tampure before they died. I asked him, I said, do you know that they lived a fulfilled life?
Yes.
And I asked again, I said that, so do you know that those that lived to see, those that witnessed, you and I, we weren't there. We didn't make the enskinment of Bokuna Tampure. Those that saw his enskinment and his demise and how PNDP have made us to suffer for these 40 years. Those that have lived to see these 40 years. And now they have lived to see the funeral of Natampure. If these people seize the enskinment of the 15 Bokunada before they died, haven't you said they have lived a fulfilled life?
Yes.
And I just wish that Plateau would have lived to witness this, but that notwithstanding, what he has seen, others have prayed just to witness the funeral, just the funeral, yes. And they couldn't get it before they died. Yes. And he he is fortunate to see the funeral. That alone is enough. And
Exactly.
we pray that our fathers that have that saw Bokuna Tampur with their eyes like this, those that saw him, and those that saw his death, and those that have lived for these years and they have seen the performance of the funeral, if these people live, if the enskinment is done before they die, they have lived a fulfilled life.
Yes, yes, indeed, indeed, indeed. And I'm working on a poem titled "When Nam Comes Home." I wanted to dedicate it to Plateau today, but I'm still working on how to present it. Let me tell you a funny thing. So I woke up this morning and the style of presentation came to mind. So I picked the script and I was excited reading it. And my wife like, what is making you happy? I said, I'm reading a poem. Now, I'm trying to bring a mixture of the traditional recitation of poem with music. It's like, how do I put it? So some of the verses I tried presenting it like a song, and so my wife was like, "You just written a song." So I said, "Yeah, it's a poem." I'm trying to mix song. I'm trying to give it a blend of in the style of presentation. I'm trying to give it a blend of singing as a song, some of the verses, and the typical or traditional recitation of a poem. But anyway, I'm still working on it. But when Nams comes home.
And as I've said, those that lived to witness Nayiri Mayer's era and Nkrumah's brutalities, or if we can put it, dictatorship, and they lived to see the enskinment of Bokuna Tampure before they died.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
And yes, and now we are now in a similar era where Bokuna Tampure final have been performed. If enskinment is successfully done, then those that have lived within this period have also lived a fulfilled life. And let me use this opportunity to tell or to talk to widows at Zorzoo or Zozo.
Yes.
In our last program, we congratulated the Nayiri for the dismissal of the case of the elders. And we said that we knew from day one that there was no case against them. But that particular case brought some kind of mixed feelings among widows at Zozo. And sometimes I begin to wonder, do we really understand what is happening at Boko at all?
Exactly. Exactly.
They were just arrested. None of them were even beaten.
Yes. They
were just arrested. And they are we have people who are ready to defend them, and they have done that till the case is now dismissed. And some people are beginning to get so. So I ask, do they know what was really happening at Boko at all?
That is a good.
So people thought of giving up. Some people thought of giving up when that issue happened. That's why I ask, do they really understand what is happening at Boko?
My brother, let me also
share. The military brutality people have gone through in Boko. Do they have an idea what our brothers are going through there? This was just an arrest, put in self and release.
Exactly. You see,
when I sit down and I look at these things, I get sad.
Yes, you get sad. And let me also tell you a personal story. When you monitor my programs since November last year, in some of the programs, you see me sharing tears. I share these tears because I ask myself, questions that you have just asked. Sometimes I ask myself, do Mamprugu understand what is going on? Do our brothers and sisters, wherever you are, you may be, Boku, Bimsi, Nalirugu, Wale Wale, UK, wherever you may be, and you are a son and a daughter of Mamprugu, do you really understand what is going on? And
I'm not sure they understand. They don't understand. They don't know what is
exactly.
They don't.
But see, I get consolation from this. There's this wise saying that, a wise quote that few people make things happen. Thousands watch what is happening. Millions are unaware what is happening. So when you understand it this way, and you are able to squarely identify where you are, which part of these three groups, whether you are part of the few who are making things happen, or whether you are part of the thousands who are watching what is happening, or whether you are part of the millions who are unaware of what is happening. When you are able to find yourself where you fit in, it's brothers and sisters, we've lost our professor, but if he comes, we will bring this program to an end. I mean, we're bringing up these discussions in honor of our legendary brother Plateau. There's this wise saying that remembrance of the dead is a warning to the living. We must appreciate Plateau. He lived a dignified life. He gave his best to Satemu Dima, and by extension to Mamprugu, in terms of culture, in terms of tradition, in terms of his way of life. You see, so we just recollecting this, things like this, to tell ourselves that we need to, as a kingdom, as sons and daughters of Mamprugu, we need to take issues about the kingdom, issues about our progress, issues about the upliftment of Mamprusis wherever we are, we may be. We need to take these things or these issues seriously. It's very important. It's very important. I will give a minute to see if Professor will join me. If he doesn't, I would probably bring this program to an end. But let's watch this. Yes, these are some excerpts from the funeral, the Adwa 7-day Adwa of our brother Plateau. This is more than a state burial, trust me. It's more than a state burial. You can see the many people who came just a few days ago to show their love, to pray for our brother Plateau. Is very, I mean, to me, this is more than a state bearer. This is more than a state bearer. And when NAMS comes home, that is all that I can say. When NAMS comes home. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Na Atabia the second Mamprugu Youth President. I don't think Professor will join me again, and we've done an hour 17 minutes. We will bring today's program to an end, and God willing, barring any unforeseen challenges, I will be live tomorrow with Dr. Jambedu Tia Abu and our distinguished Professor Badi Gamsira Inusa on this program. Good night and peace. We love you all. Bye-bye.